Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how I change my pump site using the Inset to Infusion sets. The first thing I'm going to do is just go over everything that you're going to need in order to change your pump site. So the first thing you're going to need, of course, is your Infusion set. These are the Inset 2 and they're the pink ones. Now the next thing you're going to need, of course, is your insulin pump. For this, I'm using the Animas Ping. Now the next thing that you're going to need, of course, is just some insulin because wouldn't be very much use without any insulin. And then the last thing you're going to need are your insulin cartridges or your reservoir. So with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to remove your old infusion set. Wherever you are taking your infusion set off of, you want to make sure that you don't use this site again when you're putting in your new pump site. Now, one thing I like to do is while I'm changing my infusion set, I like to make sure my pump is already rewinding. So I generally go ahead and just press rewind so that it starts rewinding and then it is ready when I'm ready for the next step. Now, when it comes to changing your pump site, what you're going to want to do is there's a little tab right here, just marked by this red line, and you're going to want to pull that off to remove the plastic that is around the site. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just remove the lid. There's a little tab right here, and you just want to pop that off, and that will expose the infusion set and the needle. Now, the next step you're going to want to do is just peel off the paper that's on the back, and there's a little tab here, and you can peel that off, and that will reveal the back of the infusion set. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap the tubing. Now, when you've unwrapped it all the way, there's a little notch. I'm not sure if you can see it right there. There's a little notch right there, and you can use that to tuck the tubing in so it doesn't get in the way when you're inserting your site. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the adhesive. There's a little tab right here, and then it just spirals around like so. Now, the next thing you want to do is you just want to remove this protector that is over the needle. Now, in order to get it ready to insert, is you want to look at the back, put your hands on that like so, just these two little tabs, and pull down. And then when it clicks, it will stay like so. So I just raised my camera up a little bit so you can see better, but this is where I'm going to be inserting it, just in the fleshy bit right here. And before I show you, as you can see, there are these two circular parts right here, and that is where you want to squeeze once you insert the pump site. You want to get it to there as best as possible and press it into your skin. Then when you're ready, just squeeze those two together, and that is all. As you can see, there's these ribbed parts right here, and that's where you want to squeeze in order to get the needle out. And you want to squeeze it as hard as you can, and then it should slide right out. And there you go. Then just kind of go around, make sure it's all tight. But that is everything, and your set is now in.
Now that your set is all inserted in your body, you're going to want to go ahead and get your pump ready. So that basically means putting your insulin into your pump, priming your tubing, and everything like that. Now, the insulin pump that I use is an Animas Ping, so that is what I'm going to be showing you how to change today. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove your reservoir or cartridge from the package. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is just screw the needle onto the cartridge. And the next thing you're going to want to do is just attach this piece that allows you to pull the insulin in a little bit easier. Kind of acts as a little plunger sort of thing. Now, what you're going to want to do is just push it in and out a couple of times to remove the air from inside the cartridge. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is just get the insulin out of the vial and into the cartridge. How you get the insulin into the cartridge is the exact same way that you would get insulin into a syringe. Basically, you want to turn the vial upside down, insert the needle, and slowly pull the plunger back to fill the cartridge with insulin. You want to make sure you do this slowly and with room temperature insulin to avoid getting bubbles. If there are any bubbles, just turn it upside down and flick it to get the bubbles to rise out of the insulin. It is important to make sure you don't have any bubbles because you don't want to be injecting air instead of insulin when you go to bolus. To remove the blue attachment, simply squeeze the two sides together and pull out. Remove the needle cap the opposite way that you put it on by just putting the cap on and twisting it off. Now that everything is set up, you're ready to prime the tubing. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you slide the tubing through the cartridge cap and make sure it is facing the right direction. Screw the tubing onto the cartridge, and then insert the cartridge into your insulin pump. Then you're going to want to screw your cartridge cap back on, and you are ready to move on to the next step. Now, in order to get your insulin pump ready, you want to go down to Prime Rewind again and go to Load Cartridge, and then click OK. Now, the last step to get your pump and your set completely ready is you're going to want to fill your cannula. At this point, it is now time to connect your tubing to your infusion set so it is ready to go. Once that step is complete, you're ready to prime your tubing. You want to hit Continue and then Go Prime. It is important that you hold Go Prime instead of just clicking it and letting go, and you want to hold it all the way until you see drops of insulin coming out of the tip of the needle at the end of the tubing. But to finish it off, you just want to go to Prime Rewind, go to Fill Cannula, scroll up to the number that is appropriate to fill your cannula, and then hit OK. How much insulin you use is dependent on your individual infusion set and how long your cannula is. This information can generally be found in the instruction manual for your infusion set.
And that is all. Now your infusion set has been completely inserted. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you learned something. If you use these infusion sets, let me know if you do anything in a different order, just to see how everyone changes it up. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, then make sure you subscribe and press the notification bell so you get notified when I upload. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye, guys.